everyone. Oh, I wanted to go live on Instagram. Hold on. Oh, well, we're not live on Instagram, but we're live here on Facebook and YouTube. I guess Instagram is just going to get some play later on today. As you can see, I'm wearing my brand new hashtag former shy girl sweatshirt, which is available on my website at nickydthepoet.org. Chew your sweatshirt so you could be a part of the official shy girl, former shy girl gang. So come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. Thank you for everyone who is tuned in right now, and for everyone who is going to catch the replay. Tell a friend to tell a friend to join on in into this conversation. So I just wanted to I'm not gonna be on here alone because it is on Monday night. But I just wanted to hop in really quickly just to give you guys a little background about the former Shy Girl. What is a former Shy Girl? What is the former Shy Girl movement really about? Because I know you guys see the hashtags, you see the shirts, you see the merch, you see the shirts, you see the hoodies, the book bags, and everything. But I never did like a formal introduction, and that was very, impolite of me. So first and foremost, for those who don't know me, my name is Nicki D, the poet. I'm nothing but a former shy girl who found her voice through poetry and now uses her poetry to help others find their voice. Currently, right now, I do have four books available for purchase. One, three poetry books, which is Return to Grace, Naked, Facing the Girl in the Mirror, and The Shy Girl Speaks. And then I do have a fourth ebook, which is The Shy Girl Guide to Self Publishing, where I basically give you all the tricks and tools that I use to publish three books in 1 year. And all that is available via my website, nickydthepoet.org. Um, I'm also available for consultation calls if you're looking to publish a book, but you don't know where to start. And if you're looking to publish a book and you don't know where to start, you're having trouble getting started, you can actually book a consultation call with me, which is $10 for 15 minutes, and you can book that consultation call by going to linktree.com/Nikki D the Poet, and I'll put all this information in the comments. So if you go to linktree.com/Nikki D the Poet, there will be a link where you can schedule an author talk with me, $10 for 15 minutes. But if you purchase the ebook, which is $10, you get all this information, this wealth of information, and you get a free consultation call for just $10. So that link is also available at linktree.com/Nikki D the Poet. Now let's get to the topic at hand. What is a former what is a former shy girl? Because I know a lot of you guys have noticed that when I introduce myself as a former shy girl. That is my brand. That's my movement. Shout out to all the former shy girls and the shy girls that's watching this. That's going to be tuned into this, and this is really just like a preview to the showcase that I'm going to do on Saturday night. On Saturday night, I'm doing the basically I'm sharing my whole poetic start journey from start to finish in a series I like to call The Diary of a Former Shy Girl. Letting you guys know how I went from Shy Girl to Nikki D the Poet, because that transformation what didn't happen overnight, even though to some people it's like, oh, popped up this Nikki D the Poet, but it took a lot of years. It took a lot of long nights. It took a lot of a whole self-love journey in between Shy Girl and Nikki D the Poet, and I think it's very important just to go. It's very important for me as an artist to be transparent, and I want to be very transparent about my journey and everything that I do, and want to show the Half of shy girls, because I get a lot of DMs asking me like, how do you get confident? How did you get your confidence in order to share your work? Like, how did you get the confidence in order to publish? And did you think that people were really gonna read what you wrote? How do you get publishers to now like interview people and create platforms for other people, not just shy girls, but other artists as well, creating a platform for them to come share their work and share into their journey. So basically, this is why I decided to do this live tonight. Um, so to me, a former shy girl is someone who, against all odds, is living in her truth, right? She isn't confined by what society says that she should be. She really doesn't care about the opinions of what people say she can be. She really doesn't care about whether or not she's popular or she get the most views, she gets so much buzz. She's living fearlessly in her truth, because for so long I was like for so long I was so worried and burdened by the opinions of others. I was scared of really putting my poetry out there, because I feel as though people view me in one way and I didn't want anyone to view me in a particular way. That like I thought that nobody really cared what I had to say, because growing up around me, nobody really respected poetry. I didn't feel as though people really, yeah, really respected poetry. I didn't think that in a million years anybody would be paying to read stuff that I wrote. I didn't think in a million years that people would really care enough to like tune in. And so I'm so grateful for everyone who's tuned in right now, who's going to catch the replay. I'm tuned in to hear what I have to say. So, and I know a lot of people, like, when I go to perform, they're like, I can't picture you ever being a shy girl. Like, but no, like, if you knew me growing up, you know that, like, I was always, like, in the corner somewhere with a notebook or a journal writing. Like, growing up, that was the one thing that was consistent throughout my whole life. Even to this day, like, I don't go anywhere without a journal. And I know a lot of poets, they got electronically now, so they write in their phone, but I'm still old school. I still write. I still carry a little journal, even though now I'm learning that once I write in the journal, to put it on some electronic form so I can have it and keep it just in case you get little spills. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, that's like, to me, that's what a shy girl is like being confident in yourself, like not worrying about the opinions of other, because I feel as though we're into 2021 now, right? If 2020 have taught us anything, it would be to don't put off to tomorrow what could have been done today, because unfortunately we did lose a lot of people in 2020 who thought that they had more time. And it's not to be scary, and it's not like to sound religious, but you literally never know what would be your last day on earth. And it came a point in time, it was like, okay, like, if I leave the earth today or tomorrow, like, what would be my legacy? Like, yeah, I have all these poems that are written, but is these poems if I'm just holding them to myself? Like, somebody else can be helped by my words. Like, it can be someone that needs to be touched, and my words can be the thing that can stop them from potentially harming themselves and taking themselves out of there. It can be the thing that, like, it can sow a seed that's able to push them and propel them forward. And it's like selfish of me. And I realized it was selfish of me to keep all that to myself, because yes, I'm living free, I'm peaceful and everything, but I'm not doing my part to help society. Like, I'm not doing my part to help society. I'm not doing my part to pass it along. um to pass it along. And like, here I am, like, and I feel like everything that we go through is for a reason. Even if it's not for us, it can just be to help someone. So I feel as though everything that I went through in my past was for a reason. Everything that I'm going to go through in my future is for a reason. So if God has given me this gift of poetry, and to put words and story in such an elegant way that it can help someone, like, why wouldn't I share it? right? Because I know some poets are just like, I don't write my poetry for other people. I write it for myself. But I feel as though even though we write it for ourselves, like it can still be a healing and a blessing to other people because so many people have DM me like, I'm a shy girl and like I love what you're doing, or I'm a former shy girl, like you're inspiring me, you're inspiration, and I'm like, are, are you talking about me? Like me? Like, are you talking to the same girl who like literally has used to have a little panic attack before she did a performance, like, and like, and it's a little crazy because the title of my book, The Shy Girl Speaks, and I tell the story all the time. So you guys may have heard the story, but I'm gonna tell it again because this is my life. But when I was preparing my third book, the original name of the book was Dear Fellow Black Girl, and the book was written and everything. Like the pieces that were in the book were there. And then for some reason, when I went to submit it, I'm just like, something doesn't feel right. Like it just didn't feel complete. And I'm like, I don't know because it's not the poetry because I've been sick with the pen since the age of 10, so I know the quality of my work. But I'm like, I felt like something was missing, and it was the title, Their Fellow Black Girl. It was just like, it's a good title. And I love my all my fellow black queens, but it was just like the missing piece. And I was like, and then I think one of my high school friends had inboxed me and was just like, oh my God, I see you out here doing your poetry. It's so crazy because like in high school you was this shy girl and I would never ever in a million years would thought that you would be out here doing poetry. And I'm like, yeah, because the shy girl now speaks. Like the shy girl speaks, former shy girl. Like I'm not a shy girl anymore. I'm speaking in my truth. I'm living in my truth. And then like it feels good. It feels so good to like be living knowing that you're doing something that you were literally born here to do. Like you can't tell me that I'm supposed to be doing anything else right now but helping to inspire the next generation of writers and helping to empower females because that's what it's all about. And I talk about my why all the time. I talk about how important it is to have a why and to keep focused because when you're out here trying to grow a brand, sometimes it get lonely. Sometimes your friends can't come to everything, and that's like in and of itself, that's okay. Like everybody has their own life. Like sometimes it get lonely staying up late at night, and if your heart is not really in it and you don't have that why driving and pushing you, then it's not going to be no point. Like it's not going to be nothing for you to go to bed when you know you have a deadline to meet because you have this speech you want to finish or you have this video that you want to get out. And to me in and of itself, like I always think of what does someone need to hear. And people may not know this, like before a performance I pray, like before writing stuff I pray because like though i'm not though I'm not a Christian poet, like God is still a big part of my life. And then it's like, if I'm not doing this for this underlying message, and it's like, God, what message do you want me? Like, what message am I supposed to be getting off in this piece? Like, it can really go. It can go left very quickly, and it's easy for egos to get in the way. Like, especially like when you do performances and you get like a good review. Yep, exactly. If your heart is not in it, it's easy for your ego to get in the way, and putting your ego in anything is really good. It isn't really good because once you start chasing applause, once the applause stop, once the sales stop, once the views stop, it's like then you don't have no longevity. And I say this a lot, and this I feel like this is my phrase for 2021. So y'all won't hear it a lot. Like I am not trying to be just queen of an open mic. Like I know what I can do with a pen. So I know that my penmanship is up there. I know my wordplay is up there. So I know I can go into any open mic and smash it. But at the end of the day, what is that going to do with my legacy? For my legacy, am I going to be known as the open mic queen, or do I want to be known as someone who actually touched lives, as someone who actually made a difference, and as someone who was actually an influence influence to those around her and those I don't even know. And those who years from now who's going to read my poetry or stumble across my YouTube page, or a friend of a friend of a friend going to tell her granddaughter, listen, Nicki went through this and Nicki came out of this. So you, if Nicki can do it, you can do it. And I feel like that's that's the whole purpose behind the former Shy Girl moments, because there were so many times where I was in a room and I just felt alone. Like I felt like nobody understood me or nobody really cared because I was so easily blended into the background that you often get overlooked by people whose personality is like more outgoing. I'm not even about to say personality is more outgoing, because if I'm in a space where I feel comfortable, then you would know my personality is outgoing. You would know. So like at work, they think I'm silly as hell. Like, and maybe a little, maybe a tiny bit crazy, but we're not gonna talk about that. But like, if I'm somewhere where I feel comfortable and influence, and I would my personality would flourish. But when I was younger, like I wasn't really sure of myself. I was second guessing myself, so a lot of times I would like just blend into the background and hide in the corner. Like my uncle would be like, "You always be chilling in the corner somewhere," because I'm like, I'm too busy observing, because my anxiety was like getting the best of me, because I wasn't sure of myself. I didn't really properly love myself. So I didn't trust anyone to love me. And that's a message in and of itself, because so many times we focus on other people loving us, but I didn't even know what love was because I didn't properly love myself. So how am I going to trust someone else to love me when in my own head, I wasn't even capable. I wasn't even worthy of loving myself. So, of course, I was like always on the edge. And it's nothing against my parents, because my parents were great. Like they provided an amazing childhood hood for me. But just in my head, it was always this feeling of unworthiness. And I don't honestly, and I'm in therapy trying to get to the root of it. I really don't know. So once I get to the root of that, I'll let you guys know. It'll probably be in a poem. But it was I always have this feeling, always had this feeling of not being worthy and not being good enough. And for years I let it stop me from walking in my calling. For years I let it stop me from pursuing my poetry, because I would always say that, like, well, this person is doing it. This person is doing it. So like, why would someone care about me doing it? This person is doing that, and they're already flourishing that. But like, there's room out here for everyone, no matter what your talent is. Like, if you walked in the bread out in the grocery store, that's just a prime example that that's just a prime example that there's room for everyone, because the different brands is not worried about what the other brands are doing. Um they're focused on their particular lane. And like me, like there's other self love poets out here. I mean, I haven't seen anybody who branded themselves as the former shy girl, but I know there's a lot of people who can relate to that message, to relate of being a shy girl, of trying, and that struggle it was to try to find your voice, and not even try to find your voice, to just try to find your place in society, because that's all we that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants to feel like they belong somewhere, that they have a place and they're able to contribute something to society. Because without feeling that, you would have the problem. Without feeling like you're able to contribute something that's worthwhile to society, you're feeling useless. You have the feeling of depression start to creep in. You have suicidal thoughts that start to creep in. So I feel like this former shy girl thing is something that everyone can relate to, males and females, because like there's some shy guys out there as well, not just shy girls. But of course my heart goes out to the shy girl, and my heart goes out to like really like teenage girls. That's why I am working on starting a mentorship program just for those teenage girls, just to help them along the journey, because I know it was tons of people who helped me and poured into me, who some people who are still pouring into me, and I wouldn't be Nicki D the poet without them. So it's very important to me to get back into the community, because like, who am I if I'm not helping the next generation of poets, the next generation of artists, the next generation of women? Like, if I can get teenage girls and stop them from going through what I had to go through, from looking for love and all the wrong places, looking for love and in the bed of random, well, not random men because I didn't go through a whole phase, but looking for love and ending up being linked and having to break the ties with someone that I had no business being involved with in the first place, to save them that heartache and get them years off their life and their years, and let them know that your 20s is a time for you to be learning and growing, and it's okay if you don't have it all together, because I feel like the biggest problem with us is, as we're going to adulthood, is we think that we have to have it all together by a certain age. And I do blame social media, and I do blame like comparison. Because even sometimes I find myself on social media, I'm like, dang, she 28. Oh my god, I'm about to be 28 this year. Like, what's going on? But everybody, everybody path in life is different. Everybody road in life is different. And I used to like tell myself, I used to find myself regretting some of the mistakes I made, but then I'm like, if I didn't make those mistakes, it wouldn't be Nicki D the poet. Like, I wouldn't have anything to write about. I wouldn't have anything to inspire the person who's going through that. So if you're going through something, to let you know that you can make it out and live to write about it, because I am a living testimony of that. And that's really all I came here to say, you guys. I said this shirt, hashtag former shy girl, is available right now on my website, thepoet.org. Unfortunately, the sale is over because we in 2021, but there may be a pop-up sale, so stay tuned. This shirt does come in different color variations, which is also listed on the site. And I do still have my book and journal bundle. Get your copy of the Shy Girl Speaks, as well as a journal for $35. So that bundle sale is going on. It'll probably going on for a while, because I want you guys to not only, the thing behind my poetry and my poetry books is, I want it to start a conversation. Like, I like books that make me think, that are conversation starters. So that's why I decided to pair the empty journal with the book. So when you have these thoughts going in your head while you're reading the book, you do have a journal that's right there to jot it down, because that's, I feel like that's is what this year should be about. We learned, I feel like last year we learned a lot about ourselves, being in quarantine and having all this time to ourselves. So this year should be more about planning and executing the things that we learned about ourselves. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me as I made my transition to Nicki D the Poet. And thank everyone who's been a part of the former Shy Girl gang from the beginning, and everyone that's just joining. I really do appreciate you. You guys keep me going. And I have all this great stuff that's coming up the pipeline in 2021. We are going to start a podcast. The podcast will actually be kicked off February of 2021. And then of course we do have the our next poetry book, Behind Closed Doors, that would be released in March of 2021, as well as a whole lot of stuff in between, especially once COVID is over and we're able to do live events again. Definitely have a lot of events, women empowerment events coming for you guys. So if you want to be down with the Shy Girl gang, follow me on all social media at Nicki D the Poet, at Nicki D the Poet, or you can subscribe to my website, NickiDThePoet.org. Go ahead and join that email list, and then you'll be notified of every single event that I have that's coming up. You'll be notified of all the performances. Of course, you'll be notified every time a new item drop, and you'll get the exclusive, so you can have your Child Girl gay gear before anyone else. episode. Thank you guys for rocking with me and tuning in, and have a good night.